All right, welcome back. President Trump intending to cut aid to Central American countries amid even more caravan chaos at the border.
Now he's pushing Mexico to help fix the immigration crisis immediately or close the southern border. But will anything change? Here to discuss is Jessica Vaughn from the Center for Immigration Studies. Thank you for joining us this morning, Jessica. I want to start with this. I'm curious what you'd say about this. Some people argue that by cutting aid to these countries, that's in turn going to make the problem there worse, and then essentially, in theory, we could have a bigger problem at our border. What do you say to that?
No, I don't think that's accurate. Our foreign aid is not going to change these countries and suddenly make them a better place. The reason people are coming to our country now is because they can get away with it. And they know that the policies at the border enable them to come here, especially if they come with a child. They're going to be released into the country and be allowed to live here indefinitely, just by saying that they fear return. That's why they're coming. We need more cooperation from these countries, so especially so that we can return them quickly, because the only thing that's going to stop this is if they see that they're not getting away with it. So there are a number of different things that we need to be doing, but leaning on these countries to do a better job in cooperating with the return of people, getting them back in an efficient and accelerated way is what's going to turn this around, along with a few other measures as well.
Yeah.
Of course, Mexico is really the key country that we need to lean on.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. I mean, if you look at the return on investment for sending the money to the Central American countries, obviously it doesn't look like it's working very well. But you look at Mexico, and even what Lindsey Graham, that we just played in the last block, he says they're inviting them right through, and they're even giving them buses and taking them right to the U.S. border. I mean, they can stop all of this. Their southern border can be secured. It's much smaller. It's much easier to do the work there. What's your position there? Should we lean on Mexico a little tougher than these three Central American nations?
Absolutely. We should be leaning on them to work together to stop this, because this is brazen criminal smuggling that is going on right now. And if Mexico enforced its own immigration laws, it would be stopped. This whole flow is based on so-called asylum claims. Mexico has stepped up and offered people asylum, almost like calling their bluff, and people are not taking it. They're saying, no, we want to go to the United States. So I think that there are a number of ways that we can work with Mexico to put a stop to this. But Mexico has no interest in doing this unless it becomes their problem too. And so that's why we have to do things like work with them to intercept people, tell asylum seekers that they have to wait in Mexico if they're going to make a claim in the United States. And our government has to say, look, if you come through Mexico, your asylum claim probably isn't valid, so we're going to treat you like any other illegal migrant and return you quickly. And that's where the cooperation of the Central American countries comes into play, because we need them to take their citizens back. I mean, yes, is there a cost in commerce and other ways? Of course there is, but there's a huge cost of illegal immigration that American taxpayers are having to bear, because this problem has been going on for several years now, and until we spend some resources to send people back, it's not going to stop.
Real quick, Jessica, before we let you go, let's take a look at some numbers here. 218,767 total asylum applications. That's in the fiscal year of 2018.
Wow.
A large number there. Why do you think it's so important for everyone to be processed?
Well, because what we know from experience is that if we let people in to make an asylum claim, it turns out that more than half of them don't even fill out the asylum application, and they don't show up for their immigration court hearing. And that's why we need to start enforcing our laws as well and start returning these people back to their home countries so that they see that they are not simply going to be allowed to live here. And that's what's really going to stop people from wanting to make this dangerous journey. If others are not succeeding, new people are not going to start it, and that's why we need the cooperation of the Central American countries as well, to return these people back to their home country, and then we can start talking about other ways to...
It clearly does look like it's a loophole in our system when you use the asylum status, and the numbers seem to show that. Democrats, though, still say that these are actual asylum seekers, that this is legitimate. So we'll see how this develops. Jessica, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
This is a prime example of what a total failure Donald Trump has been on the issue of immigration.
So we need a humane policy at the border in which we are not yanking tiny children from the arms of their mothers.
We are safe because we are a city of immigrants and asylum seekers.
So the 2020 Dems continue to challenge President Trump's immigration policies as this situation at our southern border is really getting bad.
Even after a stunning about-face from former Homeland Security Secretary under Obama, Jeh Johnson. So what will it take for the left to finally admit there's a crisis? Here to discuss is former Nevada GOP Chair Amy Tarkanian. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I want to get your reaction to what Jeh Johnson had to say. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
By anyone's definition, by any measure, right now we have a crisis at our southern border. According to the commissioner of CBP, there were 4,000 apprehensions in one day alone this past week, and we're on pace for 100,000 apprehensions on our southern border this month. That is by far a greater number than anything I saw on my watch in my 3 years as Secretary of Homeland Security.
Do you think the Democrats liked hearing that?
Well, too bad. Whether if they do, whether if they don't. You know, thank goodness that finally somebody is speaking the truth. The president has brilliantly held 2 press conferences already with the experts, with Border Patrol agents, with angel moms and dads, and they have pleaded and begged to the public and to the members of the House that, you know, they need assistance, financial assistance. They need more bodies at the border. I actually just recently testified last Friday here in the state of Nevada against Assembly Bill 281, which would make our state a sanctuary state. That's something that most Nevadans that I'm well aware of are not in favor of.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder at this point when people see a number like maybe 1 million in a year, what percentage of people are okay with that many people coming into the country?
There's not. And I recently had a friend who was originally from Mexico, and she worked so hard for so many years to become a citizen. She just became a citizen last week, and we were so proud of her. And it makes her livid when she sees that there are illegal immigrants that are getting away with so many things. It blows us away. And the fact, too, that we have legislators here in the state of Nevada that are actually considering turning our wonderful state into a sanctuary state is also mind-blowing. We recently had 4 people in northern Nevada that were murdered by an illegal immigrant, and we found out he actually had a criminal record. Why? Why is this happening? You know, one person is too many.
Let's take a look at some numbers here, border security numbers specifically, and you're talking about more than 53,000 apprehensions on average per month in fiscal year 2019. More than 4,000 apprehended, as you can see, their encounters last Tuesday alone. What do you think it's going to take for people to wake up? These numbers aren't getting any better.
They aren't getting any better, and unfortunately we have a very polarized political atmosphere where you've got the left that they're going to be kicking and screaming against anything that the president brings forward, even if it's against the safety of the citizens of our country, it seems. You have the Democrats who for years have played identity politics and have used Hispanics as a voting bloc. Hispanics, for the most part, they are pro-life, they are pro-business, they are pro-family. And once they realize that the Democrats are using them, I would hope that they start to vote Republican.
Yeah, there are so many issues that need to be addressed. Both sides say they want to work on the border. They just have completely different ideas about what that's going to look like, and that is the problem. Amy, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.